Hey gang, it's Brian from FX Billiards. Whether you own a pool table or not, chances are you do not get an opportunity to put in the amount of hours that you would like to become an elite player. So about 19 years ago when my daughter P.E.T.R.A was born, I developed a system for maximizing my skill level while putting in limited time at the pool table. Most of us don't have 6 or 8 hours a day to invest in our pool games. So I have found ways to make practice more efficient. When I developed this system 19 years ago, I thought it was so important that I developed an entire chapter around it in my audio book, 30 Ways to Improve Your Pool Game. And in the latest edition of the book, I also include the P.E.T.R.A method. So let's get started, and I will show you how the system works. And you can also go out and buy the audiobook on fxbilliards.com. So let's get started. Each letter of P.E.T.R.A, P-E-T-R-A, has a meaning. The P in P.E.T.R.A stands for progressive. The quickest way to increase your skill is through progressive drills. Here's an example from one of my previous videos, and it shows you that you're shooting the same cut shot over and over again from the same spot, other than the fact that the shot is becoming more and more difficult each time. And the idea is when you can't make a ball, you're going to go back to the beginning until you can get through the entire drill. So all of the drills that you work on, you should find ways to make them progressive. So here's an example. For guys that can't draw the ball back or can't shoot longer draw shots, you can see that I'm shooting a drill where the draw shot becomes more and more difficult. And in the lower right hand corner, another drill where the bank shot becomes more and more difficult. So the P in P.E.T.R.A stands for progression. So make sure that you make your drills more and more difficult as you go, and that will increase your skills most rapidly. The E in P.E.T.R.A is for engagement. This means be totally engaged in your practice session. Now, it is fun to practice with a partner, but you will have a more productive practice session if you work at it alone. Unless you have a partner who is dedicated to coaching you or educating you on the game and is clearly better than you, you're going to get a more efficient practice session when you are playing and practicing alone. This way, your practice session doesn't become a game session. The R in P.E.T.R.A stands for resistance. What this means is putting yourself in a position where you're practicing something that is more difficult in your practice session than it is in the real world. For example, if you're an 8-ball player, practice against a ghost in 9-ball. Shoot balls off in rotation. For those of you not familiar with the term, it just simply means running them in numerical order. This is a excellent training for 8-ball players, is to play against a ghost in 9-ball, because 8-ball bails you out very often. So increasing resistance and making your game more difficult than it is in the real world will make your practice sessions a lot more efficient. So add resistance to your practice, whether it is shooting balls off in rotation when you don't normally have to do that, or as you see on the screen, I assembled this set of balls. They're standard size pool balls, but I use them to train for 8-ball. How many players have a difficult time shooting solid balls, particularly black balls? And this rack I actually put together to force myself to have to shoot solid balls that have no references on them, no numbers, no stripes, nothing to make the shot easier. And a lot of players have a difficult time shooting the black balls, the darker balls on the table. So this rack actually helps you work on your 8-ball game by adding additional resistance. The T in the P.E.T.R.A method stands for time. You have to put in as much time as you can. Remember, the system is about getting in time when you don't have the time, but when you do have the time, You shouldn't be wasting it doing other things that you don't care as much about. Force yourself to get to the table when you can and put in your practice time. The best system for practicing when you don't want to practice is to just say to yourself, look, I really don't feel like going to that table right now and doing drills, but I'm going to do it just for 10 minutes. If you give yourself just 10 minutes of practice time every day, at the end of the week, you're going to have an hour and 10 minutes more time than the average person put in working on their game. The A in PETRA stands for analysis. So as you're doing all of this practice, analyze yourself. Did I put in good time? Did I truly improve my game? How does my stroke look? How does my stance look? How does my bridge look? How did I miss those shots? Did I run a good pattern? Analyze your game, record yourself, and then look back on it later and see what you could have done better. Progression, engagement, time, resistance, analyzation. That's the P.E.T.R.A method. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And of course, P.E.T.R.A is all grown up now. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.